So when we're working through some of the form tweaks on our high bridge, one of the major things we're going to see is, especially as you start to get tired or if your mobility is not great, you're not going to want to move through your shoulder blade, your shoulder and your hip socket as you go up and down. So as we line up into it, we put up to the top of the position. We want to be able to get a nice pivot backwards and forwards with a lot of this happening through the hip socket. What sometimes we start to see as we get to here and we're going to see the foot move, we're going to see we're going to want to pivot on our foot and ankle rather than really make our hip do the work as we go back and forth. So if we see a big walk like this, or like a little bit of a step back and forth on that, we're not going to get the same effect as if we kind of like lead from the hip. So we may have some flexibility and mobility limitations, so we may be only be able to go so far with the motion, but we want to make sure we get that just kind of the vast majority either creasing from the hip and rotating from the scapula and glenohumeral joint to make sure that's where we're getting our work done. So once again, coming to the top, we want to keep this foot as rooted as possible as we go back and forth. Make sure we don't get too much of a pivot one way or back like this, so we're staying like a nice rooted stable foot as we go back and forth. We can have a little bit of deviation at the foot and ankle back and forth. Doesn't have to be like set in stone perfect. Main thing, if you start to have some knee issues with this too, that could be because the foot and the ankle flexibility is not there, you don't have the stable base. So as we're coming through, as long as that foot and ankle stays planted and I get a little extra pivot back and forth, we'll still have a little bit of alignment going on between the tibia and femur to make sure our patella stays happy. So if you start to get a little bit of a knee issue on that, make sure to report it to your clinician. And it's one of those things with a couple little tweaks, we can usually work it out.